Welcome to Pause on Purpose. Today's question right back at all of us, including me. Do you like to wait? I'll wait. No, seriously, do you like to wait at all? Well, it all depends on what you're waiting for. You probably answer, right? If I'm waiting for a good pizza, yeah, I'll wait for that, right? But I can't wait to sink my teeth in it. But is there things that we find ourselves growing impatient with? Like maybe the person who's in front of us at the checkout counter who's writing a check for their groceries or their products, whatever, and the check's not going through, and there's just all kinds of delays. Or maybe you're trying to get into the doctor's office and they say, well, you're going to have to wait until, and they give you some future date, that's 3, 4, 5 months down the road. Probably then we don't like waiting, especially if we feel like there's something wrong and we need to see a doctor right away. Well, in today's Pause on Purpose, I'm going to show how waiting is actually an avenue to build courage in our hearts. I'm in Psalm 27 today. Psalm 27 was written by King David before he actually ascended to the throne. Now, he had already been anointed as king. Saul was still king, and Saul knew that David was going to be the next king in line. Saul didn't like that. Saul was jealous of David. And so Saul goes on this rampage and puts a price on David's head. And then he begins chasing David. And he chases David down into the wilderness to the caves of Megiddo. Now, this is the same location where we found the Dead Sea Scrolls back in 1948, which have been a phenomenal find if you know anything about history and textual criticism and the Old Testament documents. It's a great study in and of itself. But here's David. He's in the caves of Megiddo. It's really dark inside those caves. You can barely see the light. You can look up to the exit, but you're so far back because he didn't want to be seen by Saul or one of Saul's men. And then they'd be trapped in that cave. They'd be sitting ducks. So David writes this Psalm 27. He begins it by saying, the Lord is my light. Well, why do you say light? Well, he's in a cave. He's in a dark cave and he needs light. And he says, no matter how dark it gets in my surroundings on earth, God is always my light. But I'm going to jump to the very last verse, verse 14, where it says this about waiting. David gives counsel. He says, wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Got a challenge for you. Go back in the Old Testament in 1 Samuel and calculate how long David had to wait between the time that he was anointed by Samuel to the point where he ascended to the throne of Israel. It's a long time. He had to wait. He had to learn to be patient. And in that time, he learned to grow in courage, that God was disciplining him and teaching him how to develop in his own heart. Instead of relying on others to give him courage, like his buddy Jonathan, he had to learn how to rely on the Lord and how to allow the Lord to muster courage in his heart, even in the darkest caves of Megiddo. So if you're in a dark cave today, if you're having a struggle, beloved, maybe God's asking you to wait on him. Why not take time and read the whole psalm? It's only 14 verses. It'll take you less than a minute to read. And ask God to speak to you. Ask him to light your path right now. Wait on him. And then whatever he tells you to do, you go with God because he goes with you.